the book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 4, and it reads, Whereas Edom saith, We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh have indignation forever. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, all glory, all praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah HaKwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles, my bishops, my elders, a great millstone. Double honors to the high priest elders that taught those men. Salutations to you brothers that are presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice, pushing the gospel of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, through the four corners of the earth. And to you believers, the Akim and Akwathia, to you I say Shalom. And again, this brother Barman Lock out of Great Millstone Camp, Austin, coming at you with a quick lesson. And I'm gonna attack this precept from a whole different perspective right now, because we know that Esau, Edom, through the Renaissance, they did come and rebuild the desolate places. America being one of them. But we're gonna attack it from a standpoint that Esau, Edom is getting ready to what? He's trying to usher in his what? His fourth industrial revolution. And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai said, let's read this again. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. So the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, he's what? He's going to throw down. When Esau Edom is what? Attempting to build his what? Fourth industrial revolution is what? Which is going to be a what? It's going to be what? It's going to be a transhumanism where they're going to try to merge what? Pretty much electronics with humans. And that's what the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to do, man, because right now, over there in the UK, what they saying, you got to have what? The digital wallet to participate in everyday activities, work, going to the grocery stores, and all these other things. They said you're going to have to, it's mandatory that you're going to have to get that digital wallet, man. And that digital wallet is definitely, it's going to lead to what? Let's go to the book of Revelation. The book of Revelation, chapter 13, and we're going right to the point, verse 16. And it says, And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. And that mark is the charagma in their right hand or in their forehead. But right now, it's gradualism, man. And Esau, Edom, they always operate in gradualism. Meaning what? They slowly, through their process of signing what? Executive orders and all these other things. Everything is a gradual process. But eventually these things they're starting to speed up. And they're only speeding up because the prophets are standing back on the highways and the byways. The prophets have been raised back up. That's why it's speeding up. But Esau still he works in different stages, just like they did when the C-19 came about. It was a stage process. And that's the same thing with this digital wallet. It's a stage. Now it's a digital wallet. And soon after the digital wallet, it's going what? It's going to be what? Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And that mark is the charagma. And it's going to be the size of a grain of rice. So you're not going to have the digital wallet. It's going to be on you at all times. It's going to be on you all times. And it's not speaking about believing in Caesar Borgia. It's not talking about it's your image of Caesar Borgia. It's not talking about it's going to be what? A string of what the other camp said. IUIC, he said it's going to be I can't recall off the top of my head right now, but how about Shem Shah Rajazah, he'll bring it back to my remembrance, and I'll be able to tell you exactly what the IUIC, what they were speaking on, But again, the book of Revelation 13 to 16, and he calls up all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So everyone's going to be it's going to be a mandate thing for everyone. That's what Esau Edom want. Your professional athletes, they're going to be pushing this. Your LeBron Jameses and your professional, your Tom Brady's, your LeBron James and your favorite baseball or soccer player. They're going to be pushing for you average everyday Americans and Europeans. What? Go get it. See, it's going to make your life simpler. It's going to make your life better. You're not going to have to worry about your kids getting kidnapped. You're not going to have to worry about, leaving out the house and not going to the service station and you don't have your what? Your wallet or your cash card. It's going to be right in your hand. So that's exactly what Esau Edom is planning on bringing about the whole world to make what? Everyone what? A perpetual slave to them, and mainly the elites, because we know that your Caesar that y'all went and voted for in the election last year, he's not, the I guess the HNIC, as we would say. So we're gonna go back to the book of Malachi, chapter 1. And we're going to go back to verse 4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. And that's a wicked thing that Esau Edom is doing. When I say Esau Edom, we're talking about the elite of the house of Edom, the head family Amalek. And they mostly are those small hats. What they want everyone on the earth to be a perpetual slave to them. And they understand they have rulership of everything. And once you have rulership of everything, what's the next best thing? To have rulership of all the people, man. Where you made your agreement to be what? Their slaves. It said, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh have indignation with forever. And matter of fact, let's look up this word people, man. I just want to see, because I haven't even looked up this word. It said, and the people. Strong's H 5971.
Strong's H 5971. Am.
I'm going to go to the root word first. We'll go to this information. The Strong's definition: to associate by implication, to overshadow, huddling together, become dim, to hide. And that's pretty much that's exactly what's going to happen, man. 2/3 of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all going to become dim because what? Once you take that charagma that's spoken of in the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 16, you're going to what? You pretty much have made your allegiance to Esau Edom. Now, you're not going to have that spiritual eye to even speak about the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You're going to become dim. You're going to be what? They already call you black, void of light. Now you're going to be really void of light, man. Because what? You have made your allegiance. You've said that you want to be a perpetual slave in Esau's fourth industrial revolution. But the kills, let's go back to it. Let's go back.
Second entry.
But the point of this, it said, whereas Edom said we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. So the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to throw down. He's going to throw it down because he's coming to fight for the elect of the house of Israel. He's coming to fight for the elect of the house of Israel. He said, and I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, the people against whom the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh shall have indignation forever. And those people are all going to be what? The 2/3 of the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, and other heathen nations, and the head family Amalek and Esau Edom. You know what? Y'all become dim. Y'all going to be void, of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh shall, void of the understanding of the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh shall, whom the Bible is written of. Let's go to the book of Job. And we're going to go to verse 20. See, because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh shall got him in a trick bag. He got Esau Edom in a trick bag, and there's nothing they can do about it. A rock always say that word. He said, man, he got Esau Edom in a trick bag. Let's go to the book of Job, chapter 20, and we're going to go right down to we're going to, man, boy, we'll start at verse 19. We probably could start up heavier, but I'm going to start at verse 19. The book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 19. Because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away an house which he builded not, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save that which he desired. See, he's not going to be able to save that which he desired. And that's what? Desired to be, or what? To oppress the hopeful elect and the hopeful 1/3 of the house of Israel, the elect of the house of Israel. Yasharallah. He's not going to be able to, he's not going to be able to conquer his enterprise. Verse 21. There shall none of his meat be left, therefore shall none man look for his goods. Verse 22, it say, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. And that's going to be what? We're going to be in what? The third world's war. It says, verse 23, it say, when he's about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. And that's going to be what? The thermonuclear destructions. And what? Pretty much the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, the beams of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua in the chariots, which y'all call UFOs. And then read verse 24, it said, and he shall flee from the iron weapon. And that iron weapon is what? Are the intercontinental ballistic missiles that what? Iran, Russia, China, North Korea. That's the iron weapon. And the bow of steel shall strike him through. So the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua said, but I will throw down. And that's just the spirit of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua that he's putting on the other nations, man. You know what? To hate the whore. And the scriptures say, and they shall hate the whore, matter of fact. The book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 16, it reads, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. And that's what the weapons, from the intercontinental ballistic missiles, that's what they do. When it hit that fire, when it hit down, that mushroom cloud, and it's going to be just a bunch of fire, man. I served on an aircraft carrier, and when we was in the yards, the guy told us, he was like, man, one of the reasons why a lot of the countries overseas, they don't like aircraft carriers tied to the piers, because what? He said, man, if something happened to the aircraft carrier, he says, think about it. He said 50 miles east, west, north, and south. 50 miles in every direction within 50 miles. He said it's completely destroyed. Completely destroyed. 50 miles in every direction. Just think about everything that's just completely destroyed if something happened. That's why they don't be wanting them to anchor in. But it don't matter, because if you still anchored out at the sea, the same result's going to happen. And again, and the 10 horns which saw upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, that's the NATO and EU, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Verse 17, for Yahweh have put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And that's going back, but the point was in verse 16. So the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, the NATO and EU, as you can see what the Russians said. He said, man, right now we're at war with NATO and the EU. That was one of the Russia, I guess, they minister of war, they minister of defense, or whatever they call it over there. So this just the spirit of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua he's putting in the earth, man. That's why we just listened to, y'all knew Caesar, elected Caesar. He went on and he was talking about the nuclear submarines, and he was talking about how much advanced, the American submarine game is over Russia and China. He was saying we got them where they undetectable. And he was saying also that, like, we don't want no nuclear war, because he said, I seen the results of it. They showed him results, what will happen of a nuclear war. And he was saying, oh, it's not good for no one. But, he's speaking these things into the earth, man, because he know his Department of Defense guys, they all know that what? America is getting ready to come under attack. And you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all should be repenting and calling on the name of the Lord Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushua. And again, matter of fact, Let me go read. We're gonna read this, and I'm gonna close it out with this next precept. We're gonna go to the let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 30. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 7. And it says, and the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, thy power, will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. So this precept I'm reading in the book of Jeremiah, we know it's talking about Israel, but it also, to clarify, to quantify, we can also apply it to Esau Edom today as well. Because what? The Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, he's transferring these curses from off the hopeful elect of the house of Israel, and he's putting them on Esau Edom. And Esau Edom is getting ready to feel the wrath of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. He already feeling, the results of Deuteronomy 30 and 7. Because you can often see when a nation, you can tell the downfall of a nation by looking at the women. Our women have been out of order for so long, but now you see Esau Edom, the so-called self-professed white man on planet Earth. Now you see that their women are starting to talk about how desirable you Negroes are, how desirable you Negro, Latinos, and Native American men are. So let's go to the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 30. We're going to go down, I think, verse 12. The book of Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 12, it says, for thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua of hosts, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wounds is grievous. And again, we know this is talking about Israel, but we can also apply to Esau Edom in these last days, man. It's what? Again, for thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua of hosts, thy bruise is incurable. Esau Edom, y'all bruise is incurable. What? Because y'all sins have reached unto the heavens, up to the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. So now he's getting ready to what? He's coming to destroy and take your kingdom. And he's going to set up a kingdom that is what? Well, one is that's more profitable. And that's Hamashiach Yahushua, whose kingdom will be an everlasting kingdom, ruled in righteousness. It said, and thy wound is grievous. And your wounds is grievous, man, because what? Those thermonuclear missiles and chariots of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, they're gonna come and take this place with violence, man. So I pray this lesson has been edifying. I want to give all honor, all glory, all praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rekah HaKodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Double honors to the high priest elders that taught those men. Salutations to you brothers that are presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice, pushing the gospel of the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, through the four corners of the earth. And to you believers, you Akim and Akwathrian, to you I say Shalom.